What's going on, guys? King Raven here, coming at you with another knife comparison video. But before we get into this knife comparison, which I think is very unique and interesting, I haven't seen done before, I want to do a quick wrist check. This is the Spinnaker Long Island Watch Collaboration Plus. This is an excellent watch. I love the design. Spinnaker does excellent watches. I have several watches from Spinnaker and Long Island watches. These are just so great, and this one is really excellent. Love it. So, I want to thank Brothers of the Knives. If you don't follow Brothers of the Knives on YouTube and Instagram, please go give him a follow. Salty Red Corner is a good friend of mine, and he gave me this idea to compare a budget style knife, the Artisan Cutlery Tradition, versus the Hinderer XM-24. So these have a lot of stuff in common, but they have a lot of stuff that is unique to each one. So let's talk about both of these. First off, the size. If you look at the handle size, me just holding them up here, you can see these are almost identical in handle size. These are an overall profile. These are very, very similar size knives. If you look at as far as cutting edge between the Artisan and the Hinderer, I chose the Sheepsfoot because I think the blade matches closer to this as of the 24s that I have. But the blade length is just about identical between the two. So you're getting roughly the same cutting edge on both of these. Overall handle is basically the same. The XM-24 does have a choil. This has a slight choil. You can choke up, but that corner is gonna press right into the top of your finger. I really don't use it. I mean, I could do this number right here, but it's not a full choil like on the XM-24. So you're more going to use the Artisan in the more traditional grip, which you can use the Hinderer like that as well. Let's talk about the Tradition a little bit more. This is the Smoky Mountain Knifework exclusive with the Burgundy Micarta scales, however you say it. This Mississippi boy has a tough time pronouncing some names, so we're just gonna go with that. But the scales are beautiful. This is a liner lock. It's a blacked out liner lock. I think it really sets off. So the only thing that's satin is the blade itself. All the hardware, everything's blacked out. And I love it. I'm a big fan of satin blades, but the rest of the hardware, I have no problem with it being blacked out. I think it looks great with these Micarta scales. This is in RPM9, that Artisan's powder metal steel. This is the first knife I've ever had in this, so I have not had extensive use on it. You know me, I'm fully disabled, double above the knee amputee, so I don't hard use my knives. I open a lot of boxes, packages, food prep, envelopes. That's how my knives get used. The everyday task around your house that you would need. And so far, this steel has been excellent. I haven't had to do anything to it, and that edge is still just as sharp as it came. Really good so far. I'm very much looking forward to seeing how this goes in the long term. If we look between those with the cutting edge, like I said, they're very, very similar. The stock thickness, the XM-24 is thicker. This is definitely thinner, and it definitely has a thinner stock. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit more slicey, now the grind on the 24 does bring it down to a good edge, but it is a thicker stock and a harder use for sure. Where this is a liner lock, this is a titanium frame lock. No titanium here on this. This is all steel. It does have a deep carry pocket clip that is recessed into the handles with recessed screws. So they did the pocket clip excellent. You cannot complain about that at all. It is reversible. You can see the cutout on this side to where you can wear it on right hand or left hand. The XM-24, it's not reversible. There's not a place for the pocket clip on this side, so it is going to be a right hand only. Now, it is not deep carry. The screws are above, so the material is going to stop here, so the screws do not get in the way, but it is not a deep carry clip. That's perfectly fine with me. I prefer the clips like this because, like I've talked about, being handicapped in a wheelchair, deep carry clips sometimes can be very hard to get a hold of. So if the material only comes to here and I've got this much, it is much easier while I'm still sitting in the wheelchair to grab this top and be able to pull out. So I do prefer these types of clips. With that being said, even though this is a deep carry pocket clip, it sits right about here. So you still have part of this top to be able to get a hold. So it's not one of those outrageous deep carry, but it is a nice, good deep carry. Do you have as much real estate above it as the XM-24? No, this is lower, but it still is been very easy to get out, even though it's deep carry. So that's just something, if you're in a wheelchair, that you want to think in mind. If you're not in a wheelchair and you're just putting it in a pocket, most people are probably going to prefer this deep carry because a lot of people like deep carry clips. I know you can get aftermarket deep carry clips for the Hinderer. I have one on one of my Hinderers. I'm looking for a regular to replace that, but I prefer this style of clip. It just works better for me in my situation, which is why I do these videos, to give you that perspective of not only from somebody who has that knowledge of being able to walk around and EDC like everybody now, EDC in a wheelchair base with no legs. So I have experienced both, so I can talk about both. So this definitely would have appealed. Now my situation, it's more this way that works better for me. G10 on this side. Of course, you've got the Micarta scales on both sides of this knife. Weight. Even though this is titanium and this is steel, because of that, the weight is coming very similar. Though Hinderer is a little bit heavier, and I think that has a lot to do with the stock thickness. It is a thicker blade than the Tradition. So this is a thicker, so it's a tad bit heavier, but it's not substantially heavier. If you can carry this, you'd be able to carry this and vice versa. So I think that's one reason why this also makes it another good comparison videos. Now, the big thing between these two is these are both similar size, both very good, capable knives, but you're looking at more of a budget-friendly knife. This is under the $75 mark to a little bit higher end. The XM-24s start brand new, I think, around the $625 range. somewhere around there. So you are looking at a tremendous difference in price. How I want to phrase this is, are you getting more value here or here? It really all depends. I think both of these are excellent and excellent for what they are. Okay, this is the fit and finish is greater on this. The tolerances, this has the tri-way, so you can go bearings, washers are nylon, so phosphorons are nylon. You have titanium, you have CPS 20 CV, so CPM 20 CV. So the materials you're getting are much more, and the action is excellent on these. So if you're looking for that bigger, thicker stock, tough as nails, titanium frame lock, you just really need a much bigger user. Not saying that this is not as capable, but it's just a different type, and the fit and finish on the Hinders are just always excellent. But you're paying for that quality type fit, finish, materials, etc. This is super well made. The fit and finish is stellar. You would think this is a much more expensive knife than what it is. Just, if I did not know the price, looking at it, feeling it, doing the action, everything like that, I would say this knife is well above $100. I would say it was closer towards the $200 range. It feels right up there with like that others, you know, Spydercos and ZTs, right towards that $200 range. It feels like that type of quality, but you're getting this for less than $75, which is outstanding. So this is, as far as value pack, this is excellent. Between the two, no surprise and everything. I prefer the Hinderer, but these are both permanent members of my collection and everything. There is nothing wrong with this. This, if you cannot do an XM-24, this is the best option for you. If 24, you like it, you want one, but it's just completely not in the ballpark, check out an Artisan Cutlery Tradition. I do not think that you will be disappointed at all. Well, I rambled enough on this video. I hope you found it entertaining, and I hope you learned and saw the sort of comparison between an XM-24 and the Artisan Cutlery Tradition, and that it makes sense of how this compares well, but they still have their own uniqueness. They are both stellar knives. If you like this kind of video, please like, share, and subscribe. Tell me in the comments what you think. Would you be more inclined towards the Artisan Cutlery or the Hinderer XM-24? Do you think these are even comparable like I've compared them today? Or do you think they're just too far away to even be compared in the same content? Let me know. Would love to hear your thoughts. Please follow me over on Instagram at Shield Arms. Y'all be safe out there. This is King Raven, and I'll catch you in the next video.